Hello everyone, this is Lucy05 and welcome to the Go Barbara Satchel Toy Review. And today's toy we'll be looking at the 2010 release by Hasbro of the Iron Man 2 movie action figure review. And today's action figure review we'll be looking at the Target exclusive of the Hall of Armor collection of the Iron Man Mark IV figure review. Now this is a Target exclusive stuff, so we don't actually have a Target mall, and very few shops, especially specialty toy shops, actually would carry Target exclusive stuff, and this is not even available in any parts of Malaysia. But however, I gotten this straight from A269, who kind enough to send this along with the main prize that I won from his 100 subscribers video contest. He sends this from the US all the way to Malaysia, so thank you so very much. You're a very awesome person. Now, as I mentioned before, this is a Target exclusive Iron Man 2 figure, so this is really a first time for me. I never seen this being sold anywhere else, and I was quite surprised that the entire packaging is quite interesting. Notice that you got the figure on display in the front here. Everything is displayed nicely. You can see everything. You see the figure there standing on top of an arc reactor. Very nice. Here at the section here, you got a cutout hole, and next to it is stated "Try me," light up base with an arrow pointing downwards to the button there. However, the battery is dead, and it needs a 3 AAA batteries to actually power this up. I'm quite surprised that it needs AAA batteries, 3 of them, to actually power up the light up base. So that don't stop me from getting one. However, I gotten this months ago, so I didn't just go out and buy batteries. I got it months ago, so I can't wait to try it out later on. Now there's the front part of the packaging. This is the side. Very nice artwork of the one side of the Iron Man face. Next, on this side here, you get to see the rest of the lineup. Mark IV armor, the War Machine. We hardly miss the launching minigun, but the peg that pops out there kind of look out of place. At the bottom is the Mark VI armor. At the bottom, just like this, and at the back, you get to see a little bit bio on the Mark IV armor and the image with the light up base. Very nicely done. And here it's stated it has interlocking base. Quite interesting that you can actually interlock with the other base of the whole armor collection. Quite interesting. So without further ado, let's open up this baby so we can bless the toy. Be right back. And we're back after removing the figure and the rest of the stuff out from packaging. Now inside the packaging comes a small instruction sheet on how to replace the batteries. You notice you just unscrew one of the screw at the bottom of the panel and replace the batteries. And the placing of the batteries are quite interesting in a triangular shape. Now at the top part here, that's where the power switch is. There's actually 3 modes. It's stated off, in the middle it will be try me, and the third one will be on. The try me is for the demo use. And the back is just, important battery information on what to do with the batteries and what not to do with the batteries, and don't feed to the kids. And that's about it. Now, once I unscrew at the bottom part of the panel, it comes with this kind of batteries. This is a rechargeable AAA batteries. However, the power of these 3 batteries are already very low, so I just replace it with my own batteries. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. The figure's paint job is not as... the red is a bit darker than what's shown in the packaging. Really a bit dark, but the arc reactor and the eyes are painted well, nicely done though, really nicely done. But the Thai paint job is not really great, especially on the back part here. There's actually fingerprints on the back part here. It's really shoddy work. Fingerprints in this section as well. The hip joints are a bit more lighter compared to the rest of the body itself. And there's also a really rather blue repulsive palm there, bluer than this, notice. And the other side, the same kind of paint job on the other side of the repulsive palm. But the paint job is alright. It's a bit, I don't know, it's kind of really dark in paint job, but still it's alright. Some parts are smudged, but it's still okay. This is not as bad as some of the figures that I actually obtained. Now the sculpt of the figure is actually very nicely done. I really like the entire sculpt, and it is absolutely not a repaint compared to the Iron Man Mark II armor, because there are some parts that are additional art add-on, especially on the shoulder pads there. They actually added on the shoulder pads. It's actually softer in plastic, really soft plastic, really nicely done. One hand here is opened up for firing a repulsor blast, and there's no accessory for this figure. The other hand is enclosed, very nicely sculpted. On the parts here, a little bit of spine going on in the back. There's a hole at the back of the figure as well, not too sure why. Very nice. All the plating is being put on the foot as well, and the ankles, very nicely done. However, I really don't like this overexposed joints here. Wish they could actually cover it better, or at least don't use such a big, well, peg holes there. It's really not really great. Then again, this figure is meant to be displayed onto the base itself and, well, not play around. But this is an actual figure, you're supposed to play around with it. Now, speaking of playing around with it, let's check out the articulation. The head actually can turn 360 degrees. But you notice the moment I turn the head 360 degrees, there's some part that's not painted. There's a white line there. It's not painted properly. The shoulder can actually turn 360 degrees and move all the way up like so, and the shoulder pads are not actually hindering anything at all. Elbow bend this far and turn 360 degrees. Wrist turn 360 degrees. Now you notice the figure's torso has been flailing around because it's really loose. Look at this. He can't stand straight without tipping over on one side or whatever. It's just way too loose. It can turn 360 degrees, of course, it can go back and forth, but it won't stay on one location. Look at this, it just keep on flailing around. Now the hip joint here, the peg is aligned in this way, so you have to twist the entire ball joint on the hip there to make the leg actually bend forward, and this is as far he bends the leg, or to the side that's much. So we'll tie that turns 360 degrees. Double jointed knee that bends this far. The ankle joint here can pivot down a little bit upwards and turn 360 degrees. Figure is quite average, but the joints are really, well, at least the knee joint and the ankle joint is not too loose, so he's still able to stand properly by his own. It's just the torso is, the paint job, really don't like this part here. Really don't like it. And at the back of the tie as well, the fingerprint. So it's quite alright. I wouldn't give it even an average, most likely give it a 4 out of 10. Now let's take a look at the base stand here. Once I, well, position this figure not falling anywhere else. Now this is the base stand, the arc reactor base stand. You've got this plastic going on there, a sort of shield, and on this angular position you notice the arc reactor design. The entire thing is quite nicely done, but there are parts of the plastic that are not painted, like this section here, this interlocking section here. The plastic is just pure plastic, and this entire thing, you notice, you can hear this, is quite loose. It's not very secure, and this is the bottom part here. Now let's try to turn it on. I already put the batteries in. You have to press the button at the bottom, not on the top, not in the middle. You have to push the button, bottom part of the button itself, to actually turn on the lights. It's very nicely done. And you have to push it again to turn it off. So let's try to put the figure on and see how it goes. Very nicely done, but it's not as bright as I thought it would be. And the figure doesn't even stand properly on the peg there. There's a peg there for the figure to place onto. There's the hole at the bottom of the heel. So overall, the entire concept is actually not bad. It's nice for display, but the figure is really badly done. It's not bad of the paint job, it's kind of weird, and the base stand itself is quite nice, but it's quite, I really wish they actually do more on the details on the paint job on the bottom part here. And I really wish there's actually two pegs to placed on the bottom fin of the figure itself. One peg is not enough because you just saw him fall off the base itself the moment I picked him up. And this piece here is way too loose. So overall, if I'm gonna give a rating out of this, I'm just gonna give it a 4 out of 10. So it's not horrible, it's still alright as a display, but as a toy itself, the figure is really not really good in design, and the entire base itself is kind of cheap. But then again, mass production figures, what the hell do you expect? So 4 out of 10 for the entire thing. I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.